All right. So settle into whatever space is comfortable for you on your back. So it could be supine, could be feet on the floor, knees up, knees together, constructive rest. You could put a bolster under there or blocks. Just find the space that's allows your body to settle in here. So this week I've been focusing on Ganesha. He's the Hindu elephant god. He's often referred to as the remover of obstacles. But I always caution people that he can also put obstacles in your way so that you learn particular lessons. So you have to be careful what you wish for when you call on Ganesha. So one of the ways that we kind of get stuck is by internalizing these obstacles that happen to us. So sometimes it's an external obstacle, and there's not much we can do about that. But then we hold on to the emotion around it or the thoughts around it, and it makes it difficult for us to learn and grow and change through that obstacle. Sometimes those kind of ways that we get stuck are called our samskaras. There are these kind of mental and emotional grooves or habits that we find ourselves falling back into time and time again. And one of the ways that we can kind of circumvent them is to become more present and to notice, to identify where we get stuck and what happens. So we're going to focus on opening up the heart center today, opening up the hips, creating space. Obstacles, when we hold on to them, often create contractions. We want to open up here. So we'll start with awareness on the heart. Initially, just feeling the beat of your heart in your chest, feeling the rhythm. The space of kindness and compassion, empathy, connection, forgiveness. And then we'll start to tune into our breathing in that space. Feeling the front and back of the heart center expand as you take a breath in. And feeling the front and the back of the heart center coming back inward towards the spine as you breathe out. If you're comfortable, deepening the breath, long, slow inhales, long, slow exhales. Feel the sense of release as you let the breath go. So I've been offering this week the opportunity to consider something that is an obstacle for you, something that you're holding on to, that you haven't been able to release, something that keeps getting in your way. It could be an emotion, it could be a thought. Take a few moments to consider what your internal obstacles are. And when you have something in mind, as we continue to breathe in and out in our heart center, as you exhale, just imagine releasing that obstacle, letting it go, seeing it as no longer necessary. Every time you breathe out, letting it go. Maybe it's fear. Maybe it's anger. Maybe it's mistrust. Can you let it go? Imagine it released from your heart and your mind. And as you breathe in now, recognizing that you've created space by releasing that. Feel the space created by that inhale. Feel the expansion in your body, your mind, and your heart as you take the breath in. And if there's still residual obstacle left, let it go. We'll spend a little more time here breathing in and out, pulling in what is needed, what is necessary, letting go of what isn't. I'm beginning now to shift your awareness from your breath to your physical body. Notice what might be ready for movement or stretch. If you're not ready yet, it's absolutely fine. Stay right where you are. Let's reach it out for a big stretch at some point. It's getting really long here. We'll do a few of those reaching out as you inhale and then just relaxing the body down as you exhale. And then if it's comfortable for you, bringing those knees into the chest for a little rock. If that doesn't feel good, keep your feet on the floor and just take your knees side to side. All right, let's pause back at center. We're going to take the feet up towards the ceiling. Let's take a few moments to point and flex the feet. And maybe give those feet a circle. Yep, lots of cracking going on. All right, so I mentioned at the beginning that we're going to work a little bit on the hips today. That's a space where we often hold. So if there's been an obstacle in your life that you haven't been able to get over, you're probably holding it there. So let's just open and close the legs with our breath. Just starting to get some synovial fluid moving there. Couple more. And then we'll pause, opening those legs wide. Bring those arms wherever you like. Could be elbows on the floor with your hands on the thighs, just as a kind of support. You could have the arms down. You could have the hands on the insides of the thighs if you like. Release your belly. Release your lower back as you just let those hips slide open. So I mentioned also at the beginning that sometimes there's this kind of clenching involved when we get so connected to those obstacles that we can't let them go. So that happens a lot in our hips. So we want to see if we can release the clenching. Just a few more breaths here. And then let's bring those legs back in towards each other. I'm going to bend the knees, bring the feet together, take the knees out to the side for upward facing Baddha Konasana. So you can hold on here if you like, and you can make this a little stronger by pulling in with your hands, pressing away with your knees. You can stay soft. The place I do want you to remain soft is through the belly. So let those hips relax, let the belly release as you exhale. Release those obstacles from the hips. If you want to lift the head and shoulders up, you could come to that. And if you want to work your core a little bit more, take those hands and bring them parallel to each other, just kind of framing your feet. If you framed your hands around your feet, we're going to hold back onto the legs somewhere. Let the head and shoulders come down. A few more deep breaths in that belly. Let those hips release. We're going to release the arms, keep the legs in that position. We're going to start to lift and lower the legs here. So our inhale is up, our exhale is lowering the legs. If you want to work your core a little bit more, don't take the feet all the way to the floor. Stop just a couple of inches above. If you want to work the core a little bit more, as you bring those legs up and in, you're going to lift the head and shoulders, bring those arms parallel to the feet again. And then as you exhale, lower everything down. I'm going to do a few more. Last exhale, take it all the way down. Keep the legs in this position if you're comfortable doing so. You can always slide props underneath. If it's too intense, slide your feet away a little bit. Nice deep belly breaths. Relax those hips, relax the buttocks, relax the belly. Just let those hips succumb to gravity. Spend an awful lot of our time pushing and prodding and shoving ourselves, not only in our practice, but in our life. So maybe we can just spend a little time allowing. Few more deep breaths. When you are ready, you're going to slowly bring those knees up and in towards each other. Bring those feet about hips distance, and then start to take your knees side to side. All right, we're going to make our way up to sit. You can come up however you like. And when you get there, legs can be whatever position feels good. I'm going to do some seated cat-cows to start. Focusing on the heart center. Breathing in, opening up through the front of the body. Breathing out, opening the back of the body. Go at a pace that feels right for you at this point in your day and at this point in your practice. Feel that sense of creating space in the front of the body as you open that chest. If you want to add arms, opening the arms as you open the chest, and then bringing the arms around, rounding the back as you exhale. If not, stay with the arms down. I'm going to do a few more rounds of movement. When you're done, let's bring those arms down around behind, fingertips to the floor or palms, depending on how long those arms are. Open up that chest. Chin's neutral, or you can lift. And we let go of those things that we're holding on to, that clench us, that close us. We create space for new things to come in. A few more breaths. Next exhale, come back to neutral. Give those shoulders a roll when you arrive. Switch direction if you haven't already. And then let's get a little movement in that head and neck, maybe circling or taking the chin up and down. And let's come back to center. So allow the chin to settle towards the chest for a few moments here. Maybe over and over today, as we're practicing, you come back to that obstacle you've decided you want to release. Let it go. Maybe a new obstacle presents itself. And then next inhale, we'll come back up to neutral. Exhale, stay. Let those shoulders release. Find lots of length in the spine. We'll bring the hands to the heart. So we're going to do the circle of joy breath. So as you inhale, you're going to press those hands out, interlace the fingers, press the palms out. Exhale, arms come up. Inhale, down around behind. And then exhale, interlace and open the heart. Inhale, arms come back around. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, press out. Exhale up. Inhale behind. Exhale, press and open. The inhale brings the arms back forward, and then exhale to the heart. Go at your own pace. If you like, when you're pressing the hands forward, you can round the back. And do a few more rounds. And when you're finished with those few rounds, extend those legs out long. Hands come to the heart. So we're going to do an up and down movement with the arms in the position that we were just doing. So we're going to take the arms out, then take the arms up, and then forward bend. Lift back up and lower back down. Keep moving with your breath. If it's too much on your shoulders to have the hands together, just take them apart. We'll do a couple more moving and then settle into your forward bend. Let that heart melt down. The other thing to consider when we're thinking about obstacles is sometimes they're placed in our paths to help us grow and to change. So as we often think of obstacles as negative, it's really just all about what we do with them. Do we listen? Do we pay attention? Do we ignore? Next inhale, rising back up. We're going to head over into table pose. Blanket if you like for under those knees. We are going to do a few things here. So starting off with whatever movement feels good. Is there any little hitches? Is there any place that feels like it needs a stretch? And do a few more rounds of whatever you need to do here. And let's settle in to a forearm table. So we're going to bring those forearms down. You can have those hands apart or together, whatever you feel like you want to do. We're just going to do some forward and back movement here. So you're going to start to move forward. So you're kind of hovering over those arms or over the space between, and then sit back towards the heels. So how far you go is entirely up to you. Could be a little ways, or you could go all the way to the point where maybe you tap the nose down.
And then we'll hold, so you can choose whether you want to hold in that forward position and work on strengthening those arms and shoulders a little, or if you want to sit back and settle into that space. Two more breaths. And then let's make our way back up into table. So we're going to do a kind of a swooping action here. So I want you to tuck your toes under, and we're going to take the arms and walk them back a bit. Then we're going to sit back towards the heels. And then inhale, we're going to start to sweep through in between. So you're going to bend those arms a little bit and then sweep and then come back. So you might have to play around with where your hands are. Feeling that opening of the heart space. If it doesn't work for you to come through, just go back and forth between table and sitting back. I'm going to do a few more. And then once again, you decide, where do you need to hold? Do you want to hold in the forward position with the heart open? Do you need to hold sitting back in that more extended child's position? Just a few more breaths here. When you're ready, we'll settle back into table pose. And we're going to take the right leg up when you get there. Nice and strong here, reaching back through that heel. Press away from the floor through those arms, nice and long through the spine. And then if you like, opposite hand comes up for balancing table. We're going to add a little bit of movement here. Normally we just kind of lift up and bring the elbow and the knee in, but we're going to bring the hand to the heart and the knee in. So if you'd like to take that variation, we'll lift and then exhale, hand comes to heart, knee comes in, arm comes back out and back in. And you can always do one or the other, just the hand or just the leg. We'll do a couple more. And then the next time you've got the hand and or the knee in, we're going to hold and breathe. Two more breaths. When you're ready, release it back out and then back to your table. All right, other side, take that other leg up, reach back through that heel, press up and away, reach out through the top of the head, arm comes up if you did on the other side. Then we'll come to the movement if you did it on the other side. Hand to heart, knee in. Two more, and then we'll hold in. One more breath, and then reach it back out and release. We're going to make our way up into downward facing dog when you're ready. Spend a little time here exploring. Notice what's going on in the body, what needs some movement, what needs a stretch here. Just a few more breaths exploring there. And then when you're ready, we'll take it into a standing forward bend and let that evolve into whatever it needs to be. What does it feel like you need right now? Maybe come back to that obstacle or your attachment to it. And this time you imagine it flowing down and into the earth. Just a few more breaths here. When you're ready, we're going to make our way up to standing. Get there how you need to. Could roll up if it feels okay. Go flat back. When you get all the way up there, close the eyes. Let those shoulders release. Feel yourself sinking down into the earth. All right, we're going to come into Ganesha Mudra and use it to kind of focus our breathing. So we're going to bring the left hand out in front of you, palm faces out. Hook those fingers. Bring the other hand up, hook those fingers, and connect your fingers. Okay, so typically you'll hold it either at the sternum or at the heart, whatever feels better. Okay, so this is our inhale. And then as you exhale, it's like you're trying to pull your hands apart, but keep your fingers together. And then inhale, release that. Exhale. Few more. And just stand and hold Ganesha Mudra. So that movement and breath represents the holding and struggle surrounding our obstacles, and then the release. Hands come together at the heart, coming back to the same breath. Interlace, press out. Exhale up. Inhale behind. Exhale, press those knuckles down, open the heart. Inhale, back around. Exhale to the heart. Inhale, press out. Exhale up. Down around behind. Go at your own pace. Let's do a couple more rounds. When you get back to the heart center that last time around, we'll pause.
Okay, we're going to come back to that, but this time when we come back to the heart, we're going to come down through a forward bend. Okay, so we're going to inhale, take those palms away, exhale up. Inhale behind and exhale open. Inhale forward. Exhale to your heart, roll it down, forward bend. Halfway. Step it back, plank, table, or dog. 5 breaths there. We're going to lower it down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. And up into cobra. Pause there. Whatever cobra needs to be for you. Pay particular attention to that lower back. Tighten up those glutes. Press down through the tops of those feet. Play around with your legs. Maybe they need to be a little farther away or a little closer. A few more breaths. Lower it down. I'm going to press up and back, table or down dog. We're going to take the leg up, so you decide where you want to start. Right leg rises. Right knee bends. We're going to take that hip out and up. Open up through that hip. Press away from the hip through that knee. Just a few more breaths. We're going to bring that around. Foot comes through in between the hands. Sweeping the arms up. You can keep the back heel up or bring the back heel down, your choice. Hands come out in front of you. You're going to turn that left palm out. Right hand comes in. We're going to come back to that breath. Inhale here. Exhale, pull apart. Inhale, release it. Two more. Hands come together. Back to the same breath. Inhale out. Exhale up. Around behind. Open up. Come forward. Lift up. Hands come around. Back to the heart. Sweep it forward. Come up. Come around. Come forward. One more round. Pause, hands at heart when you're done. Hands come down. I'm going to step that front foot back. Start where you started on the other side. Other leg comes up. Bend that knee. Take it up and out. Come on back through. A foot comes through in between the hands. Sweep it on up. Bring those hands down. Left palm faces out. Hook those fingers. 7 breaths. When you're done, hands come to the heart. And then we'll come to the movement with the breath, taking the palms out and up and back. And then adding the forward bend. Oops, I forgot to go forward. And we're going to do one more. Whoa. I think I'll just come back. All right, let's bring those hands down. We're going to step it back. Oh, stretch it out here. Just a few more breaths. I'm going to have you come down for a moment because I'm going to give you a couple of options. We're going to head towards flip the dog or wild thing. So if you're not familiar, it's this one where we come up and flip ourselves over. So if you're like, yeah, no, not doing that, you can do it from your knees. So you can come to your knees, but you have to make sure you shift the bottom foot a little bit here. So you kind of shift that out and you come over and then open like that. So it's a little less intense. It's not as scary as it looks. So it's up to you. All right, back to your dog. Just need a little demonstration there. All right, now we're going to take it forward. Come on, halfway. Back down. All the way up. Back to the heart. All right, interlace. Press it out. Lift it up. Come on down around behind. Open. Back to the front. Hands to the heart. Roll it down. Forward bend. Come on, halfway. Step it back. Plank, table, or dog. Roll it down. Cobra pose. And press up and back. Table or down dog. So start where you want to start for your flip. You're going to take the right leg up. Bend that knee. Start to lift it up like we did before. And then you're going to see if you can bring that foot around and down. Opening up, breathing. Yep, there you go. Oh, wild things. I know, I should put it on. Wild thing. I'll sing it for you. No. All right. We got to use our core to bring us all the way back over. Core, 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 core. Oh, yes. All right. We might as well just get it over with. Go to the other side. Bring that other leg up. Bend that knee. Bring it on over. Open it up. Lovely for hips, belly, chest. Breathe. Opening up to new possibilities that removing those obstacles creates. Just a few more breaths if you got it in you. Then core, 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 core. Come on, back over. All right, we're going to bring that right leg back up. Bend that knee, take it out again. Bring it on through. That foot comes through, and we're going to pivot the back heel down so we can come up and around into warrior two. Back hand comes to the heart. Front palm flips, reverse warrior variation. Come on back through. Windmill down and around. Front foot comes back. Other leg goes up. Bend that knee, take it out. And let's bring it through. Back heel comes down, up and around. Warrior two. Back hand to the heart, front palm flips. Come on up, reverse. Feels warm in here. All right, come on back through. Windmill those arms down and around. Step it back. Couple breaths there, and then we'll take it through to our forward bend. And then all the way up to standing. All right, so we are going to go back through our flow, end up in Warrior Two, and then head towards Half Moon. So if you've been in my class this week, you heard me talk about the story of Ganesha is connected to Half Moon pose. And I'll tell you that while you're struggling in Half Moon. All right, hands come together. We're going to come out again, pressing out, lifting up, down around behind, stay. Breathe open. Release, hands come back around, exhale, forward bend. From halfway. Come on down, take it back, plank, table, or dog. We'll make our way down and into Cobra when you're ready. Up dog if you like. Few breaths here. Pushing up and back, table or dog. Right leg comes up. Bend that knee, take the hip out and up. Bring it around. Foot comes through, back heel comes down. Come on up and around. If it's in your practice to float from here, go ahead and do that. If not, that back foot comes in a little bit, just gives you less distance to cover. Front knee bent to start, reach down, and then see if you can get. So the story is that Ganesha, when he was little, loved sweets. And he was coming back from a party and he dropped all of his candy on the ground. And he was very embarrassed. And the moon saw him and the moon was laughing at him. And he got really mad at the moon and he told the moon that it was no longer allowed to shine. But the other gods were like, nope, that's not going to work for us. If you want to try half moon sugarcane, you're going to bend that top knee, reach for the foot, and then see if you can open out there. So the compromise was that the moon could shine fully once or twice a month. But other than that, it wasn't allowed to shine. And the hand that's reaching down is supposed to be Ganesha reaching for his sweets. All right, a couple more breaths. And then we're going to see if we can ever so gracefully step back into Warrior Two. Come on down and around. Take that front foot back. And head to the other side. Other leg comes up. Bend that knee. Take it out and up. A couple breaths. And we're going to come back around. That foot comes through. Back heel comes down. Up and around into our Warrior Two. And half moon on this side. Exploring whatever you might have explored on the other side. So if you went for half moon sugarcane, trying to reach that foot. You're missing the candy. It would make it worth it, right? Yeah. Good point, Nicole. All right, a few more breaths. And then ever so gracefully stepping back. Come on down and around. We're going to take it back to your downward facing dog or table.
So just an aside there. So if you were kind of flailing, or, this wasn't exactly what you wanted it to be, did you create an obstacle in your mind about that? It's okay. It's just a half moon. Few more breaths here. When you're ready, take it forward, standing forward bend. Come on halfway. Come on back down. And then we're going to come all the way up. Back to the heart. All right. We are going to go back to half moon again. Yay. Yes. But this time we're going to give you some options for possibly taking your hand up off the floor. Maybe you feed yourself a little sweet. I don't know. Let's see. All right. Hands together. Press it out. Exhale up. Come down around. Open. Hands come back around. Exhale it down. Forward bend. Come on halfway. Take it back. Plank, table, or dog. Couple breaths and then lower it down. Cobra or up dog. Lower down, press up and back. Oh, did I mention we're going to add flip the dog back in too? So right leg comes up, right knee bends. I'm going to flip it open. Come on back over. Take that leg up. Bring it through. Back heel comes down. Up and around, warrior two. Half moon. All right. Options. Stay here. You can do half cane sugar moon, half moon, half moon sugar cane. You can try taking that bottom hand from the floor and bring it to your heart, and maybe placing the opposite hand on top. Just a few more breaths. Take whatever variation feels, I was going to say good, but maybe acceptable. And then take it back. Whoa! Down and around. Candy would definitely help. Step it back. Other leg comes up. Bend that knee. You're going to flip your dog. Couple breaths. Flip it back over. Extend that leg and that foot comes through. Back heel comes down. Come on, up and around. Half moon. Try for whatever variation you just tried on the other side, if it's even remotely possible. I'm going to try a few more breaths. And then the ever so graceful step back. Come on down and around. Step it back. All right, we're going to make our way down to the belly. A couple of options here, depending on whether or not you can get your feet. You can do bow pose if you can get your feet. We're going to settle into that, lifting up. If that's not in your practice, you might go for more of a locust, where you're just lifting up through the chest and maybe interlacing the hands behind. So find the space that feels right for you at the moment. Two more breaths.
And then lower it down, release your back. So maybe make a pillow out of those arms, rest your head or rest your cheek on the floor. Do what you need to do for the back. So it might feel good just to rest there. You might bend your knees, take your feet side to side, or just kind of wiggle the hips. Few more breaths. When you're ready, bring those hands underneath the shoulders. Use your core to bring you up and back and around to sit. All right. So I'm going to do some moving twists here. You can have your legs however it's comfortable for you. I'm going to take the arms up as you inhale. As you exhale, arms come down and around as you twist to the right. Inhale up. And then exhale around to the other side. Next time you're on the left, let's pause. Focus in on the breathing in your heart, the release. Just a few more breaths here. And then when you're ready, we'll come back to center or to the other side, settle into your breathing there, right into your heart. All right, just a couple more and then we'll head back to center. Extend the legs. So we're going to come back to the breathing that we've been doing. We're going to add something here. So we'll take it out, press out, lift up, come around, interlace, open, arms come back around, hands come to the heart. Do that a few more times. This time when you come back through, we're going to pause with the arms up overhead. If it doesn't feel good to keep the hands interlaced, just release them. Exhale forward. Settle into your forward bend. Release those arms. Next, inhale. Let's make our way up. We're going to head down to the back. If there's anything you want to get before you head down for Shavasana, go ahead and grab that. We're going to do a couple things before we land. So when you get down there, start out with a big stretch. So often when we do heart openers, that means we're doing back bends. So if your back is feeling a little cranky, when we get to Shavasana, you might think about having something underneath your knees. or even legs up the wall might feel good. Get that nice big stretch in. And then maybe the knees come to chest. And rock side to side. All right, so we're going to take the knees side to side. You have a couple options. You can keep the feet on the floor to take your knees side to side, or you can have your feet up off the floor, with knees pointing up towards the ceiling, and then shins are parallel to the ceiling. And then you start to take the knees over to one side. If you want to work the core, don't take them all the way down. Just leave them up a little bit. And then use your core to help you come up and then over to the other side. So do what feels right for you. I'm going to do a couple more on each side. And if you've got those knees up above the floor just a bit, we'll see if we can hover there for just a few breaths. And then let it come down for your twist. Adjust your legs if you need to. When you're ready, come on back up. And then over to the other side. If you hovered for a few breaths, go ahead and do that before you set it down. Settle into the twist. Just a couple more. When you're ready, come on back through to center. We're going to take some time to do whatever you need to do here, whatever's left in your practice. And eventually we'll make our way towards Shavasana. Settling into whatever feels right for your Shavasana, whatever allows your body to settle, to sink, to release. When you arrive at your Shavasana, perhaps you come back to that space of the heart, space of openness, space of compassion, empathy, connection, forgiveness. All those things allow us to open up, to receive. I am filled with joy, with strength. I release my burdens. Perhaps you take this time to recognize that what sometimes looks like an obstacle in your path is really a gift. What opportunities have you been given that you perhaps didn't recognize as an opportunity? Taking a moment here to return to your heart space, feeling the beat of your heart, the breath rising and falling there. Slowly beginning to make your way back to your physical body, to whatever it is you need to do to make your way back. Please take your time as always. When you do arrive at seated, I'm going to settle back into Ganesha Mudra, holding the mudra at the sternum, allowing the chin to settle towards the chest when you arrive. This evening's parting thought is rather short. It's by Sue Fitzmaurice. When you meet obstacles with gratitude, your perception starts to shift. Resistance loses its power, and grace finds a home within you. When you meet obstacles with gratitude, your perception starts to shift. Resistance loses its power, and grace finds a home within you. Bring the hands together at the heart center and bowing forward. Gratitude for this practice, for those who shared it with you today. Gratitude to yourself for getting to your mat. Shanti, 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 peace. May there be peace in your hearts. May there be peace in your lives, and may there be peace in this world. Gently rising up. Namaste, my friends.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for being here with me.
Thank you.